everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is IELTS English and Knowledge. In this video, I'm going to tell you about your first section of IELTS, which is IELTS Listening. This is the first and the foremost section of your IELTS exam. This consists of 40 minutes. 40 minutes you will be given to solve the listening section. Okay, now this 40 minutes are not all the 40 minutes. Here's the twist: an audio will be played, headphones will be provided to you. Okay, you have to answer 40 questions according to what you listen in the audio. Okay, but the audio will be of 30 minutes. Okay, and in those 30 minutes you have to answer all the 40 questions. The remaining 10 minutes will be given to you to transfer your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet, or to just look at your answers for some time. It's totally up to you whatever you want to do with those 10 minutes. Okay, but the audio will be of 30 minutes. In that audio, native English speakers will be speaking in that audio, and you have to listen whatever they speak. Okay, so it's never outdated because it's a global level test. So whatever situations you will encounter when you visit to an English speaking country, all those social situations you can listen in IELTS listening. Now how? See, the first thing you will do when you go to an English speaking country, you have to answer certain questions which immigration authorities will question you. So even that conversation can be included in IELTS listening. Okay, after that, for example, like you are applying for a job in the UK. So whatever questions you will be asking or whatever answers the employer will be giving to you, that conversation can also be included in IELTS listening. Or the university conversations when you visit to a university and you ask for an important information to your classmates or to other international students or even to a professor. Okay, so Britishers are generally speaking in that audio, and that is why you need to be familiar with the British accent and British English. Okay, the audio is mostly by Britishers. And then there are 4 parts in IELTS listening. I told you earlier, 4 parts. The first part is dialogue conversation, means you will be somebody is asking someone to somebody, somebody is questioning and the other person is answering, and then according to that audio you have to fill in the blanks. That's simple. Second part of the IELTS listening will be a monologue. Okay, monologue is just the opposite of dialogue. Monologue is just the opposite of dialogue. Dialogue means somebody is asking something and the other person is answering. Okay, that is a dialogue conversation. But the monologue is individual speaking. Only one person is speaking at a time and all the others are listening. It can be a university professor is articulating a speech, or somebody is giving a lecture. University professor is giving a lecture. So in that case you have to listen it and you have to answer accordingly. Type of questions in part 2 are mostly MCQs, multiple choice questions. They are it's a tough job, multiple choice questions. Every option appears to you to be correct, so you need to read all the content carefully. And then it can be map. Okay, a map layout will be given to you and you have to answer where certain buildings are. And then it can also be diagram labeling. A diagram will be provided to you and you have to label the diagram according to what you listen in the audio. Fine. And then part 3 and part 4. Now in part 3 and part 4, the audio speed will be increased, so you need to keep your ears on. Fine. It is mainly of academic context. A research paper is being dictated to you, or the spread of coronavirus or Ebola, things like this. A news podcast has been played. Okay, according to that news, whatever they are talking about, you have to answer the questions accordingly. So then the fourth part consists of generally fill-ups again. So the first part also fill-ups and the last part also fill-ups. Between two parts will be MCQs, diagram or map, diagram labeling or map, things like that. So the main important things which you need to keep in mind are here you need to pay attention. The first and the foremost thing is nothing will be repeated. Always remember this. Once you listen, and if you miss out, if you couldn't make out what they are talking about, it's all gone. They will not repeat you anything. Fine. The second thing is read the instructions carefully. Now what are the instructions saying? Sometimes they say you write 3 words or write no more than 3 words. So you cannot write 4 words. You have to write within the limit of 3 words. Let's say you can write 1 word, 2 word or 3 word. You cannot write 4 words. Even if it is correct, you cannot write 4 words. Your answer will be wrong. It will be incorrect. And then check for spellings, check for singular or plural, check for grammatical mistakes, check for tenses. Okay, you need to check for everything, spellings, of course. And then we recommend you to answer every question in uppercase. Why? It's for a safer side. It's not a rule, but for a safer side, because sometimes the answer should be, the first letter of your answer should be capital, but sometimes you write small. So in order to be at a safer side, you should answer all the questions in uppercase, means capital letters. Okay, then you should also look for singular or plural of the words. Means sometimes the audio is saying that the answer for the question is game. Okay, so you write game and you think it is correct. Well, it is correct, but you know what, sometimes the fill in the blanks or the question, you should read the sentence, and that sentence is saying that the answer should be games, not game. So in that case, even if you wrote game, your answer will be wrong. You will not get a good mark for that. You need to look for singular or plural. Okay, and the second thing is that okay, nothing will be repeated. The second thing is that it will be okay, it's the audio is always in British English, so they never call 0 as 0. 0 is always pronounced as O or not or null. They will never say like 0. So they will never be saying you 0 as 0. They will be saying like 07625, not 07625. So they will be calling O, not, or sometimes null. You need to keep this in mind. You need to check, you need to check for spellings, for tenses, for singular or plural, for the pronunciation of 0. It's never called 0. It's called O or not in British English. Fine. And you need to read the instructions carefully. Then you need to you need to answer all the questions, because IELTS listening has no negative marking. Even all the other sections also has no negative marking. It's just a language test. You can answer every question. You should answer every question. Okay. Now it's all for IELTS listening. I have told you the format and the types of questions and what you will listen in the audio. Also I have told you. Now I'm going to give you some example of part 1 questions, part 2 questions. So this is an example of part 1 questions. You can just look at them, okay, and you can listen to the audio. These are some types of part 1 question. Okay, so I will be speaking the audio same as you will be hearing in your real IELTS listening exam, but my accent and pronunciation would be something, it would be different because I will be speaking obviously at a low speed. Britishers will not be speaking at a low speed. So you can, it's just to give you an example. So you can look at the question. Section 1, test 1. First you have some time to look at questions for half a minute. Hello, is that Flagstone Properties? Yes, how can I help you? I'm ringing just to make some inquiries about renting a house. Okay, the main areas we deal with are the city centre and the north suburbs. What sort of price were you thinking of? Well, it ranges from £250 per month to about £500 depending upon different factors. So, I have spoken the audio and you have got the answer for 1 and 2 question. The first answer is city centre and the second answer is £250 and £500. I hope you could make out what you have listened. Now this is an example of part 2 or part 3 questions. Okay, now I am speaking the audio for the question 32. I am beginning. Section 4, test 1, book number 3. The majority of our patients at the clinic tend to be women. They are exceptionally vulnerable because of pregnancy, but also especially because of osteoporosis, which I personally believe to be the major cause of problems for women. I hope you got the answer. It's B, osteoporosis. Even when she spoke, pregnancy can be the main cause, but afterwards she also spoke that osteoporosis, which I personally believe to be the major cause of problems for women. So the answer is B. Map layout. Okay, I would be speaking the 17th answer. Section 2, look at questions 17 to 20. Now a word about the layout of the building. Standing here in the foyer, you are probably wondering why the box office isn't here, where the public would expect to find it. Well, you might have noticed it on your way in. Although it's a part of this building, it's next door with a separate entrance from the door. So the answer for 17 would be G. So these were some examples of the type of questions you will be getting in your IELTS listening. I hope I have been successful in giving you an overview of the types of questions you have to answer. Stay tuned for more videos. I would be also giving you the details about all the other sections of IELTS, which is writing, reading and speaking. So don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video till the end.